And I love this episode. It was so entertaining, educative, because then you guys taught us a lot. Okay, especially at the end where the doctor was telling us about COVID-19.
This episode of the Vin Centers podcast is proudly sponsored by AccessBet.
Take this code and play the game at AccessBet.
Oh wow. Thank you.
Enjoy 100% first deposit bonus, cut one permutation, virtual games, live bets, cash out, all on AccessBet. AccessBet, your access to millions.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Vin Center podcast. I'm your host, Tega. I'm joined by Edmund Oris, Dr. Williams, and his new guest on the show, Dr. Onyeka. I will let them introduce themselves, then we'll kick off the show. Oris, how are you doing?
Well, Tega. I'm fine. Thank God for life. I'm happy. It feels like we shot an episode last night because everything is happening so fast these days. But I'm happy because we've had a lot. The last episode was brilliant in terms of downloads and the reviews we got. So I'm excited to shoot this one, and we have a lot of history on this podcast today. So I can't wait to start.
Yeah. Exactly. We have a lot of history which we might not delve in, but the short summary of the history is that we've all been friends for a long time. I think every single person on this show have been friends for a long time. Dr. Williams, how are you doing?
Well, it's great to be back. I'm very happy. Funny enough, prior to this podcast, it has been a long, hectic week and day, but coming to this podcast, it seems refreshing and relieving. Maybe because Onyeka is here, but let's see how it goes. I'm happy to be back, and I'm happy she's here.
All right, I wouldn't be the one to divulge secret information out. So, Dr. Onyeka, how are you doing? Glad to have you on the show.
Hello, Tega. Hello, Ed. Hello, Williams. Hello, everybody listening. I'm glad to be here, really. When Tega told me, like, hey, Onyeka, would you like to be on my show? The first thing I did was, like, literally jump on my bed. I was like, finally, this boy has moved. It's important to be here. And it's really nice talking to all of you again, like, in the same space. Can't remember how long it's been.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. So, but before we delve into the main topics, I just want to say, before we begin the podcast, I'd like to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, future mothers, and the moms who are listening. Personally, my mom is like my biggest fan. She listens to this podcast every single episode. She's literally my number one fan. So I would like to just say Happy Mother's Day. Past it was last week, but it's still relevant. And to everyone who is a child, the parents, future mothers, anyone who has lost a child, just Happy Mother's Day to every single female. I think that's the best thing we could wish everybody.
What of Reverend sisters?
Yes, Reverend.
Yeah, they are mothers too.
Are they mothers? What are their children?
Yeah, they are mothers too. They are.
What are their children?
Well, they trained a lot of us in school.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, back to the podcast. Let's begin the show with the coronavirus update. It's been ravaging the whole nation, the world at large. So let's start with that. Recently, there was in Tanzania, if I'm not mistaken, a conspiracy theories by the president that these coronavirus test kits are already infected before they are being used on people already. And it was the same thing that happened in the UK. They had to turn some test kits back because they found out that some of those test kits were infected already. Williams, what do you think? Is this a serious issue? Have you seen it like happen in Nigeria? Do you think it's like a conspiracy theory that it's not actually true?
Well, to be frank with you, the coronavirus is real. That's not even debatable again. But I think Nigeria as a country has not really gotten to that level for us to be panicking yet because, one, I think our leaders are being shady about it. Personally, I believe the numbers are more than this, but I think for their own personal and political gain, they try to downplay or try and make it look so not to be serious. They're trying to profit out of it. That's my personal opinion. And I don't think we are serious enough, like the way the Western and European countries are tackling this coronavirus.
I don't know. In terms of Nigeria, for example, I feel like William said the numbers. Yeah, I feel like the numbers could be more, but there are also people that feel like we've never seen pictures of anybody that had corona. I saw someone tweeting and I was like, we've never seen pictures, we've never seen a patient. He doesn't know anybody that knows somebody that's gotten corona in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So he's feeling like a lot of the numbers and is not as serious as they are trying to make it, because at the end of the day, every day we get updates from NCDC.
Yeah.
We just see figures. Do you understand? But in other countries, you see patients, you see them in the hospitals and all that. So I don't know. My personal opinion is that obviously it's in Nigeria, but I don't know if it's guy. I don't know really. I'm confused on the subject, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. Onyeka, what do you think on this issue? Have you seen a coronavirus patient like in the hospital since you've been?
Yes, I have. I've seen a COVID-19 patient, yes. And it's actually real, no jokes. It's not like they're just saying, probably because we're the ones here. And before people will start saying that they've not seen anybody who has seen anybody that has it and stuff, they should first of all look at the number of people we are in this country and how dispersed everybody are.
Yes, yeah.
If you are thinking that, people that have relatives that are positive to this virus, they won't come out and tell you because it's stigmatizing them. They're stigmatizing themselves.
That's true.
And they'll be like, and they won't tell you. So they'll be like, I don't know, this one, that one, blah, blah, blah. So I think nobody wants to have that stigma that, they have a relative or they have someone that have the virus, but it's actually real. And we're not doing enough testing. That's why we don't know. And I think we're really lucky because it's not affecting us as severely as it's affecting other countries. So maybe that's why we're downplaying it like this. If it came out as something as bad as Ebola or Lassa is, imagine having a Lassa pandemic.
Yeah.
That would be terrible because that one, I think we're just lucky, really. And everybody's hungry, so they're thinking about that things than trying to cover their nose.
I recently, because we're supposed to be like on interstate lockdown. People are not supposed to travel from it. Well, people are traveling. I was shocked when I heard. I was like, "Are you serious?" It just makes a mockery of the whole thing to me because the rule is that everybody should be in their state. So if we're traveling, I beg Nigeria, I am tired, to be honest.
Okay, Edmund, coming from the wheelbarrow pusher perspective, what do you have them do? They should sit at home and die when their government is not providing for them. How do they fend for their families? Don't you want them to go out? If yes, so why shouldn't they? If no, why should the government not provide?
No, that one is different. You are doing wheelbarrow. You don't have to travel from one state to another.
From the wheelbarrow perspective, people have to move about to feed their families. But if you are saying there should be a lockdown, yes, the lockdown should be there, but the government is not providing. So the people have no other choice than to be dogged and force their ways out.
Somehow is affecting, but there are rules. The rule says you can't travel from one state to another. So why are people breaking it? That's my own issue.
Well, a lot of people are depending on themselves. A lot of people are depending on their families to provide for them in these trying times. And you're not just going to sit where you are and say, the government is going to provide for me and stuff. Because the government is not doing. To me personally, I feel they should just they lift up
everything. Okay, schools should open. Churches
No. We'll still leave out schools and where public gatherings.
Why? How will lecturers eat? Are they paying lecturers?
They are still paying government workers now.
What of the private workers, the private lecturers?
That's the thing. I feel private organizations are supposed to know how they are going to cater for their staff. The same way the government is catering for. When they are not working, yes.
A lot of people working for private institutions in terms of maybe schools now. A lot of them are losing their jobs. Sure, you know that.
I can relate to people need to move about because I had my electrician. He told me recently that he cannot sit down at home. He's traveling to Delta State this night because he's hungry. His family is hungry, so he needs to go to Delta State and work. So I can relate to that. But one thing I've noticed recently while actually going out during this pandemic is that a lot of people are wearing face masks. And I've been able to talk to one or two of them that why are you wearing face mask? They feel all of them, at least two people that I spoke to said they can't. Face mask is actually going to protect them from the virus, which I think is a half truth, because a face mask will help you, but will not solve the problem of protecting you from the virus. William, do you think that the whole people wearing face masks a lot there's actually a false sense of security wearing face masks, especially when it's not actually a medical standard safe mask?
Firstly, the face masks, during this COVID-19 period, there is a lot of stigmatization from those that have the disease. So people do not really usually come forward saying, I'm a COVID patient or I'm a COVID survivor. So people are masquerading and hiding a lot of illnesses. So now we don't have the technical and the technological know-how to know who is who. So it's advisable that everybody should be on the face mask now, because it is presumed or assumed that if everybody is on the mask, the rate of spread might reduce, because we don't know who is infected. Yeah. Hence, it is advisable that everybody should be on the mask. So that with that mask on phase, everybody, we're trying to reduce spread. It's not as if we're totally annihilating the spread of disease, but we're trying to reduce it to a certain extent. For example, in my hospital now, you can't come into the hospital without a mask. Be you, whoever, everybody must be on masks, both the doctors, the nurses, and including the patients. Even the patients in the ward are on mask, because we don't know who is who. Your visitor may come with the disease and give it to you in the ward. And me that comes to see you every day might be at risk. So everybody is on masks, and you must sanitize. And one visitor per patient now. We do not want the full family, because we are trying to limit a lot of contact and a lot of social distancing and all that. So that's basically the logic behind it.
Okay.
But again, my fear is that a lot of people are making numerous face masks in the market. I saw a video, a picture. Somebody sent to me that they were pricing face masks. The lady put it on. She did not like the color or the size. She put it back in the basket. She picked another one, and she did not like. So she finally. So with that being said, it's still not a safe means. So I think maybe the government can have an official production of mask type or something, because if everybody begins to make face masks, how sure are we can guarantee the efficacy and effectivity of this face mask? So that's my worry.
Exactly, because I bought a face mask 2 days ago when I went out, and I was reluctant to actually buy, but everybody was saying, hey, bro, that face mask. I ended up buying one, and I put it on. And the night when I got home, my left nose is still paining me up till now. It's a bit swollen.
Do you have corona?
So but the left part of my nose is paining me, so I actually don't know. But it's crazy. Moving on away from the face mask saga now, Madagascar, Edmund, they have a supposed cure for corona, a herbal cure. And a lot of countries are beginning to purchase it. A lot of African countries, not European countries, are beginning to purchase their own portion, their own ration of the Madagascar cure. What's your take on that? Since there's no an approved cure for corona yet.
If it's working for them, why? We should give it a try. At least it's a better option than what is happening right now, where there's no. At the end of the day, everybody's going to die, or those people that have it, or most of them are going to die. So if it's curing people in Madagascar, why? I'm totally for us trying it. To be honest, I don't know why a lot of people are reserved, especially the doctors, because they are saying it has not been approved. It could have side effects and all the many things, which I understand. But it's a chance. You understand? If I had corona, and I would definitely want to try it. So I feel like they should give people that option. We should check it out.
I go with WHO. If it's not WHO authorized, guy, I don't know. It comes as a drink, for God's sake. What is it? I mean, what is it going to do for the pain? Is it preventive or is it therapeutic? That is one thing.
It's curing, according to
that's therapeutic. That is curable.
Yeah,
it's curing the disease.
Yeah,
because what I read about the Madagascar.
Because a lot of them are drinking it, and they're actually recovering. Onyeka. So say you're not a doctor.
I don't know. Really.
Say you had corona and you heard about that. Will you not want to take it?
Yeah, I'd be tempted to take it, but everybody would be tempted to take it. Yes, that's the word. I'm not going to lie.
I would take it in a heartbeat, no questions asked.
I have some reservations about the drink. Firstly, it's just, I think we Africans, we always like to find the cheapest and easiest way out. For example, now I'm having malaria and I go and drink pepper soup. You will think I'm fine, but it's just a binge effect. The pepper soup there just gave me that heating and soothing feeling, but didn't take away the pathology, which is the malaria. Same thing is going to happen for this Madagascar drink. I will drink it with the sense that somebody has told me it works. So psychologically, I feel it's working, but meanwhile, it's not working. It could just be a binge effect. Maybe one of the combination of the drugs there has a dose of chloroquine, which may just reduce the effects of this corona for a day or two.
It's actually artemisia. I think it is artemisinin
the patient comes
based stuff.
Exactly. Comes back with a full-blown COVID. As Onyeka just said, they've combined a malaria ingredients or dosaging into this drink to sell to people. But that is not the actual cure of the virus. If it was the actual cure, everybody should be taking malaria medicine for this corona. So I feel it's a binge effect. Again, we do not know the proper dosing of this drink because when it comes to treatment or drugs, there has to be a balance between the two dosages. Yes. Because when the side effects start coming in, you won't be able to explain. So when it comes to drugs, we have to be very careful. There is a stage of development, testing, and human trials. You start from animal, which is during your clinical trials, to human beings. It will pass through several stages before it gets to the developmental stage, whereby the WHO or the FDA will have to approve it. But you can't just tell me that because it's working in Madagascar, we should approve it. WHO has frowned on it because it does not make sense.
Williams, if Madagascar,
I'll be working on the third Milan bridge.
Williams, relax.
Give it to Madagascar. Give it to Madagascar.
Williams. Williams. If Madagascar was USA or France, would you have these reservations?
Edmund, it's not about
yes or no.
It's not about
yes or no.
Edmund.
Wait.
Yes,
you have this reservation.
Yes, I will have it because
I don't like what you said about we Africans. See, listen. Before
Edmund, if it were from USA or from Europe, it would have. If it's going to first of all pass through WHO, and if it's approved, then to be approved. If it's not approved, it won't be approved. That is the thing. WHO has not approved it. That is my own take. If WHO has not approved it, it means that there are side effects that may not be good for the patient or the person that is taking it.
Before we were colonized, yes, our forefathers. How did they treat themselves when they?
But Edmund, we've been colonized.
Wait now. We've left
that era of our forefathers. So.
No, you know what I feel? I feel like people are doubting it because it's coming from Africa. I'm sorry, but that's
my reservations because people not been WHO approved.
Before all these drugs and all this approving and all these things, yes, I agree that we were taking herbs that were healing us, and our forefathers, a lot of them lived very old before they died. Do you get?
Yeah. But so I know your forefathers. You've been exposed to air pollution. You've been exposed to radiation. You've been exposed to a lot of things. So you cannot compare yourself with those guys. Those guys lived a clean life. You are not living a clean life. So you don't know what is even in that stuff.
What do you mean? What do you mean by clean life?
The air was cleaner. They had better, as in everything. They ate more vegetables and all that. I don't need to start explaining the whole clean life thing, but they had a better lifestyle, especially for nutrition and all that, and the ecosystem and all that. It was better compared to now.
Do you believe in currently? Do you still believe in herbal ways of treating, or you think they are all bullshit? There are people that
you cannot put that on me. I'm a medical doctor. What do you think?
There are people that they get ill now and they don't go and take many of all these our drugs. They go to their farm or they go to their bush and they get well. Or is there? And another thing, Williams was talking about side effects. They've taken it, and so far I think it's been 3 for almost a month. Nobody has come back to say.
Edmund, those same patients come to the hospital with side effects from those herbal concoctions they've been taking. That is another
And nobody
thing.
talks about it when they come to the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't bring 2 doctors to this show again. I think I'll beg you.
Anyways, for me, if the cure comes to Nigeria, and I'm on the street, I see the Madagascar cure. I will tell the person that is hawking the cure, give me 1 remedy, give me 2 gala. I'll go they drink and
Two, give me 2 Madagascar there. I want big gala.
Well, anyways.
Okay, so I was talking with a friend of mine, and we're just rubbing minds, and he was telling me because he's been at home this whole corona issue. So he was telling me that it's been difficult staying at home with his parents because growing up they never had that kind of relationship. So most of the time it's always in school or it's always somewhere. So now that he actually has he's stuck. Let me use that word. He's stuck at home. So it just made me reflect on my own relationship with my own parents, and I feel like a lot of Africans, I don't know about Africans, so Nigerians, a lot of us, we don't really have a very good. A lot of us here don't really have a very good relationship with our parents. Our parents don't have that kind of relationship with us. It's mostly father and son or father and daughter. You get. So I can remember the first time I heard one of my friends talking to his dad. I think I was in university, and they were talking like they were guys. Tega, the way me and you talk, or the way me and Williams talk. And then when the call ended, I was like, "Guy, are you mad? Why would you be talking to your father like that?" And he was like, "No, that's how he talks." So I was envious of him because I can't talk to my father like that, to be honest. So me and my father were only very close when we talk about football, when we were discussing football. So I made a tweet. I said, by the time a lot of parents actually want to have a relationship with their children, apart from the normal father and parent and child relationship, is usually too late. So Onyeka, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's actually true because I don't know, cultures are changing. I think the idea they had while they were young too were to just give birth to kids, ensure they have good handwork, because then many of them didn't go to school. Ensure they marry into good homes. Ensure you try and feed them, try and clothe them as much as you can. Ensure the female doesn't get unwanted pregnancy. Ensure the boy doesn't impregnate someone else's daughter. So that was just it. There was no emotional connection they had with their parents, children. I think. With their parents. Yeah. So that's what they knew, and that's what they passed on to us.
Okay.
I think why we are thinking this way is because we are probably exposed to social media and seeing how like the Westerners have really a good relationship with their parents, or how they have better communication and stuff. There are a few exceptions, yes, but basically I think that's just what's affecting us really.
Well, personally, or generally speaking, I think Nigerian parents as a whole make communications with their children too late. They do not know the distinction between communication and parenting. So they have good parenting skills, but they have poor communication skills. For example, a typical Nigerian parent feels, if I pay your school fees, I'm feeding you, I'm giving you money to buy clothes, there's food in the house, there's TV, you are going to good school, you people are okay.
You should not have any other problems.
Meaning you should not have any other problem. But you see that child, for example, the child goes to school daily with numerous doubts and worries. There is self-esteem issues, there is insecurity issues, there is bullying, there is depression, there is peer pressure. For example, for somebody like me that went to boarding school, most of the things I saw in boarding school, I couldn't talk about it at home because I didn't know how to start the conversations. I went to school with different kind of people, both the rich, the poor, and the middle class people. But you could see people where I was bullied. I couldn't talk about it at home.
Yeah.
I was doing some things that ideally I know that I should not be doing. There was pressure. It was a mixed school, so seeing a girl was different to me. you can see a girl send you love notes and telling you she wants to do this, she wants to do that. I didn't know how to respond because I didn't have all these pre-informed thoughts before I came into the school. I'm not trying to explain. So I didn't know how to react to it. So what do I do is that I go to talk to the seniors, so-called in school. So those seniors tended were like my school fathers or my school mothers. So they too, from their own ignorant points, will advise you. So that's an ignorant person is advice another ignorant person. Before you know, that trend continues. You now become a bad person or somebody that you are not. This is not your conformation. This is not how you were brought up. My advice to parents is that you need to sit down with their children. Ask them, how are you? What are you going through? What are your challenges? What are your fears? Personally, for me, I'm going to have this session with my children every day I come back from work or when we're having dinner. We'll talk about how was your day? What happened? What were the things that you faced and you did not like? How can we be better as a parent to you? Because I don't want them to go into the world in doubt and in fear and with a lot of insecurities. Because you see those insecurities, it takes a lot of training or personal building with character through books or whatever for you to be able to overcome them. Because even up to adulthood, some children are not able to overcome these fears. That's why you see that a child will leave a home and he doesn't call his parents on a daily basis because from childhood, there was a loose connection. Also, parents will they have a family of 4 or 5. They begin to pick favorites among their children. So the other children begin to feel left out that, oh, my father does not care about me. He has paid my school fees. So some children feel neglected. Hence, they grow up and they detach from the family. They begin to see them. They say they want to be left alone. They don't want to be called upon. They don't want to associate with the family. It's not a new thing. It started right from when they were small.
I feel like everything you guys have said is true. But another issue, I feel like parents need to know when to draw a line between discipline and because in a bit to want to, because at the end of the day, we all agree that all our parents, they have our best interests at heart. Agreed. So some people, they discipline the child so much that the child children start fearing their parents. I don't feel like that's the right emotion children should feel for you. You should not fear parents. You get. And some people grow up with this thing from primary school, secondary school, university. Immediately they get to university, they're out. Once they go, they don't come back until Christmas. They come back for Christmas, they stay a week, it's 2 weeks, and they're out again to the next Christmas. They don't want to be around that space because all through their childhood, they've lived in fear of maybe they're afraid of their father, they're afraid of their mother, so they don't feel like, and that's why when you fear somebody, you won't confide in the person. Okay? And like Williams has rightly said, a lot of us growing up, we had our insecurities, we had our fears. You see, that's why they say most caged children are overprotective parents raise the best liars. You get so when you cage, for example, children that when we got to university, you saw that most people that were caged when they go to university and they saw that freedom, they didn't even know how to handle it.
Really wild.
They become like you get so like Williams has said. A lot of our parents, they need to do better. If it's not too late, I don't know. I feel like for some it's already too late because some people, I know a friend has told me that he can never forgive his father for a lot of the things his father did to him growing up. That one is done. But we are our generation.
I think the onus is actually on us now, not on our parents anymore.
Not on our parents.
Well, we're all grown and we're making all our decisions ourselves now. Yeah,
exactly. So I feel like they are gone, so we should do better.
Yeah. Anyways, like Oris said, a lot of people actually do fear their parents, and that's why they don't really have that line of communication. Coming from my end, I was punished when I was a child, I was beaten, but I do not fear my parents. So I think that's where I still have the chance to actually speak to my parents, especially my mom and all that. So I just feel the onus is actually now on us to make sure when we have our own kids, when this generation have our kids, especially the younger people who actually listen to us, they can correct those mistakes that parents actually made. Well, moving on from a very actually serious and important topic, one thing that actually makes me laugh and makes me joyous almost every single day a particular pastor called, popularly known as Indaboski. And for me, I actually exactly. And I actually do live for this guy because his content, when I say his content, it's very comedic.
Tega, in fact,
yeah.
listen. When I'm having a bad day, sometimes because I have a thread of his videos on Twitter,
yeah.
I just go there to watch it and I laugh. I laugh my ass out. Like, the guy is so hilarious. I'm like, how? Where did this guy come from? But anyway.
Exactly. So now this is my point in talking about him. When we see him, everybody laughs and they're basically hailing him. But for example, now if he's a popular pastor that's doing this kind of thing now, like an Oyedeko or an Adeboye or any serious popular pastor now, the people are going to criticize him. Oh, he's fake. He's collecting people's tithes. He's collecting people's. Indaboski to get that kind of criticism, but the most criticism, he gets more praise for his comedic value than criticism for being maybe in quotes fake. So it's just something.
Are you sure he gets praise for those that the whole comedy thing is doing? I don't think so. It actually has a lot of backlash.
I feel like people that praise him are mocking him. It's obviously it has to be in a sarcastic way because I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people are actually praising him. Wow, he was there to praise guy.
Yes.
Williams, do you have an opinion on this?
Everyone cannot be preaching love.
I am not a man of love.
I'm not a man of love. Indaboski, I think I have mixed feelings about the guy. For somebody like me, you guys know I have an ethic against most pastors because we don't know who is really anymore because a lot of them do all sorts of for clout, for money, for fame, or whatever. But personally, Indaboski is very big in the East. I did this small research about the guy. He has a very big church and he's very friendly with lots of celebrities and actors in the East. He goes for their housewarming parties. For example, Zubi Michael, when Zubi did his housewarming, Indaboski sprayed 1 million for Zubi.
What?
So, yeah, Indaboski sprayed 1 million. Fact. Yeah. And when Zubi came to his church also and also sprayed him about 500K when he did one event or so. So
we should be spraying each other money.
Many people like him.
Yeah.
Outside being a pastor.
Yeah.
Because he's a nice person and he supports his friends. And it's just Igbo people know how to do my brother. Yeah. So they see him as one of them and they support each other. So hence, that's why he's so popular now because outside being a pastor, he's a good friend, he's a good philanthropist, he helps one another and all that. But for the fact of him being a pastor...
Please, I don't think you guys should stop calling him. He has come out categorically to say that he is not a pastor, he is a liquid metal. He's not a pastor, so you can't go with the normal pastor. He says he's not even a reverend.
And money has a church. What are you going to call him?
Jokes aside, I feel on the part of him being a priest, a pastor, whatever, it's still bleak to me because I don't really know much about his powers or whatever he's using. But for being a good individual and a good friend and somebody that they can rely on, he's top notch in that category.
Finally, you guys should leave my Indaboski Pahose. La Bush Kaba, the Lebanon, and the Lemande. Let me keep giving me steady good content. That's all I want.
I saw a tweet recently about a relationship, and it's something I would like us to discuss. Where someone said, is it compulsory to always chat with your partner whenever you're online? Speaking of somebody who was in a relationship before, I fell into that category that it was compulsory because the person who I was dating, if I'm online and she's online, we are not talking, it's going to be a problem later because if I call her, maybe I call her in the night, I call her the following day, she's going to remind me of why I was online. I did not speak to her. Am I forming something? Am I being too busy? So I was put in that category that must be compulsory. So it almost became a job at a point where I know that if I put my data on and I go on WhatsApp, if she's online, I have to first check if she's online first. I have to scroll down and say, okay, this particular girl, she's online. Oh, quickly, let me say hi. What's up? How's your day going? Because if I by mistake she scrolls up and sees my name and sees I'm online and I have not said a single word to her, there's a problem somewhere.
Hey, I want to ask you something. Wait.
Yes.
You just get off the phone with her, like people just had a long conversation of 1 hour, and then you go online the next minute. What are you supposed to do? Like message her again?
I think exactly. All right. But what do you think? Is it compulsory?
I don't think it's compulsory. No, it doesn't actually. But well, like you said, it's what your partner wanted. But me, I don't think it's compulsory. First of all, it's very stressful, and if people have good phone conversations, people must not chat every day. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Okay, not every day, and people must not like talk whenever you guys are online together.
Yeah.
Really. Okay, what if you're having a meeting now? Then you now be distracted and be chatting her and stuff. I don't know. There's nothing there really.
All right, Oris, what's your think?
Guys, these are petty issues. I don't know why people can make an issue out of this. When you start making it compulsory, then you start talking about things that are not important, which can bring issues. You should only talk when it's necessary. I don't know. I don't even like the whole compulsory. What's compulsory there? I don't agree. I don't agree. Talk only when you guys have something serious to talk.
Well, firstly, I think the term compulsory is what's making everybody on the edge here.
Yeah.
If you are in love with someone and you have a partner, I see no reason why you guys shouldn't be talking often.
It's not about talking often.
It's about what, Onyeka?
It's about talking whenever either of you or both of you are online together.
Well,
I asked Tega a question. If people just got off the phone after like a 1 hour phone conversation, and then you go online to do something and you see her online.
No, that means you guys don't need to talk off. If that's the example or scenario.
That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm on the phone with Onyeka for 1 hour. After 1 hour, I see her online. And I'm not angry that she did not chat up with me. It doesn't make sense. Now she could be doing her own thing. I could be doing her own thing. So
that's what I'm saying.
We have talked, but does not mean we should be talking throughout the whole 24 hours.
But Williams, you were going to a point before you interrupted you. So I would like you to.
Yes, I was going to a point. I think the clause here that made everybody on the edge is this compulsory term. Yes. I think without the term compulsory, it is ideal and it's logical to speak to your partner on a daily basis. The frequency of the communication is left for you guys to decide. There will be various factors such as work, time, different time zones.
Sleep, very important.
Exactly. And different activities that could be and different activities that could be holding you down. So that's left for you guys to figure out your best talking pattern. It could be 3 times, 4 times a day, whatever works for you. But the term compulsory, I don't think it should be used in them because there are some days you can be so busy, but you can't tell me that you didn't have 5 minutes to squeeze out. So in those difficult days, the frequency may not be so much like the normal 3 days, but at least you should speak to your partner. It's ideal. It's healthy. Communication is the biggest key for a long-lasting relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking about communication now, would you advise a long-distance relationship? Because personally, on my end, I would not, because my last relationship was torn into pieces because of long distance. It was close knit, then eventually became long distance because we had to change locations and we had to move different places to serve and all those kind of things. And became a problem at the end of the day. So I have personally sworn never to do a long distance relationship in my life. I have someone I'm very close with, and we talk every day. But it can't relate to a relationship just because we are long distance. So Rika, would it be a long distance relationship, or are you in one?
I am in a long distance relationship.
So how do you?
Well, not intercontinental. Okay. I wish, but yeah. And it's hard, but I think it's possible. Yeah.
So how do you? So what do you guys do now? Now I'm listening back to this always talking. Almost if you're online, and do you guys have a? You don't really need to tell us the whole history, but do you have like a schedule or a plan between you and your
Yeah, we do. Okay, like we make it like important that have video calls like more than 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Definitely, we must talk every day. Yeah. Then we have to see each other every month.
Every month. Is that not task? Is that not tasking? Because it's
tasking. That is why if you want it to work, you have to work for it. Jesus, it's fucking task.
Tega, to cut her some slaps now. She's a doctor. Her schedules are very tight. And considering that she has to work, so they are trying to make it work in their own little way. So they will learn from their processes and improve it. That being said, long distance relationships, there is a popular saying that the 4 of you have to agree because I said that by the side. I concur. I'm not trying to shade anything, but the truth is that long distance relationships are difficult for some people because of the various reasons, such as people like being close to their partner because of trust issues, fear, whatever. Some of the reasons could be sexual. So people cannot stay without that constant being together with their loved one or whatever.
Yeah.
All these things still boils down to my family issues. Some people have not been loved like the way they are being loved before, so they can't stand to be alone. But that's just sidebar. Long relationships should be built on trust, communication. Trust and communication is the biggest factor in long distance relationship because the man is scared that you will cheat. She's scared you will cheat. And if we're not talking every day, puts a lot of doubts.
Is cheating a deal breaker? Is cheating a deal breaker?
Evan, that's the answer.
Evan, that's not good there.
There's no... But back to basics. Long distance relationship works. If 2 people, like I always say, for you to call yourself in a good relationship, the 2 of you need to be committed to make things work. I don't need to put 10%, you put in 50. It has to be a balanced equation. If I'm bringing 110, you need to bring 110 because we have to go the extra mile. This is not the regular, I'm in worry, you are in worry. This one, you are far away. So we need to make sure that we put in that extra work, that effort to try and rekindle the love. At a point in time, you need to do some surprises, surprise visits, surprise office package. You need to just do something nice because you need to keep the flame burning because the truth is that both of you are alone in your various places. So to easily be tempted is there. The chances of being tempted is there. But you see these little gestures of sending gifts, sending cards, surprise clothes or surprise visits or cake or movie time. Like Onyeka said, they make it an effort to see each other once a month. Those little things count in long distance relationship. Yeah. So those are my tips.
Anyway, Tega, what I feel, I feel like it's a thing, but not everybody can do it. A lot of people cannot do it. So you have to find, if you are going to be in it, you have to understand with your partner. You guys should be compatible. If you are compatible, you guys will understand. Then obviously, as Onyeka has said, you try. It's an effort. You have to be intentional about it. It doesn't just become good because it's difficult. It's very difficult. Personally, there was a point when I used to say, I don't want my lover to be far from me. I always want, I was like clingy kind of person. I want the person to be around me. I want to see you. I want to kiss you and all that shit. But I feel like right now where I am in my life, I feel like long distance relationship is the best for me because I like my space and I like being with myself. So just be wherever you are and we'll talk on the phone. And like Onyeka said, the once in a week visit and all that shit. But it's not for everybody, to be honest, because it's difficult. Conjure a bastard.
William said something about the 4 people need to be in an agreement. So Onyeka, being the public person in 4 of us here that is in a long distance relationship, are the 4 of you convenient in the relationship?
Tega, I'm going to beat you up. I swear to God. But that aside, it's not a 4-person team.
Exactly. I get.
Yes. So if whoever wants to think it's a 4-person team, that is his or her opinion. I know the man I'm dating, and I know it's a 2 people thing.
God went.
God went. Yeah. Okay. On a lighter note, now would you start an OnlyFans account? Recently, OnlyFans have been trending, and Beyonce even put it in her song recently with Stallion.
Stallion.
Yeah, exactly. So would you start an OnlyFans account based on Beyonce's endorsement?
No. For fuck's sake, why would I do that?
Edmund
Oris
rushes to Google.
Money,
What is OnlyFans? Edmund rushes to Google. What is OnlyFans? So, Onyeka, will you start an OnlyFans account?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm not very confident about people seeing my body and stuff. And I don't think I want to use my body to make money, so I wouldn't. That's basically just it, not for any other reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Tega, my take on it is that I want to incline to Onyeka's point of view. So opening an account so that you can make money off of it is not really, I don't really find it interesting or find it suiting well with my spirit and soul. So I, for one, do not want somebody to open an account like that or to encourage it for anybody.
Yeah, I do get, but a lot of people say it's a job. Like the same way the same way you go to the hospital and you're taking care of patients, the same way I go to work and I'm doing my whole whatever I'm doing in the office. It's the same way people go to OnlyFans and start a job venture. And I think it makes a lot of people make money out of it. I saw a lady's OnlyFans page, and I saw how much she made just between May 1st and May 2nd this month.
Are you serious? 2 days?
In 2 days, she made about $400, and I was in shock because I don't think I can make $400 in 2 days with what I'm doing. So anything you want to do with making money, I think.
Yes, I mean, if you're comfortable with it, then that's fine. So it's actually about the person.
Yeah.
And specifically, yeah, sure.
All right. Onyeka, are you a football fan? You watch football?
No, not really.
Are you not to mask now? Are you not to mask now?
I think that was years ago. No.
Doesn't like to suffer. She doesn't like to suffer.
Years ago. No longer.
Okay, Oris, Bundesliga is returning on Saturday. What's your take on at least something is happening football-wise now?
A lot of football is coming back. I'm actually very happy. Bundesliga is starting tomorrow. Serie A is resuming on 13th, La Liga on the 12th, Premier League on the 1st of June.
Yeah.
You get so finally some football. The weekends can actually make sense again. But I feel like it's going to be a little bit boring because no fans at the moment because of the whole coronavirus thing. So it's going to be.
So who is going to scream?
The players. It's just going to be behind those doors. But we've been on this whole football break for like 2 months. So, guy, now at this point, I'll take anything.
Exactly.
I will watch anything. So I can't wait. Normally before I don't really follow the Bundesliga because we're always occupied with most of the Premier League or La Liga games, and I see some of their big games now. But now because there's no other thing to watch, I'm going to watch it closely. Everything.
Yeah. So, exactly. All right. Okay. So William said you had an update on last week's episode. You discussed about something, and you have an update for us. So the floor is yours.
Okay. Last episode, Edmund tasked me with the responsibility of following up on one of the issues we talked about. Okay? For those that were not here last week we talked about a certain man who forcefully tried to have his way with his wife and claimed she did not have any right to complain or resist him. So, funny enough, the man stays close to my area. So I found out that the next day the wife moved out of the house and left himself with 2 of the children together in the house. So I invited him over and asked him what was happening, whether has he gone to apologize He said he has begged her and she refused. Outrightly, which is right, she's supposed to refuse. But he said he has spoken to her elder brothers, the elders and uncle, and they shared drink over the issue. So ideally, she's supposed to move back because the elders in the family have told her to move back. But then again, she's still upset. So I asked him, if she does not come back, what happens to the children? He said the children are his, so it's not her. They are not her children, so he is going to keep the children while she can go her separate ways. But then again,
they're not her children as her.
That's what he said.
Biological kids.
They are
They
are biological children, but he's as a typical Yoruba man. He said the children are his own, it's not for the woman. So, and I see the children every day when I'm going to work. They look hungry. They look in a very sick state. So my heart has been telling me to do something for them. I was been trying to avoid it. I didn't want to involve myself. They said, my colleagues at work said, I discussed with them. They said I should not put my mouth in the married man's issue. But then I couldn't stop thinking about the whole situation. So when I went to the market to buy food stuff, I just got extra food stuff and called him to the house, and I gave him some things, and he lay down on the floor and he was thanking me how I was helping him and how he didn't have anything, but he didn't know how to ask. So my question is, for how long is this going to last? Because basically the wife is the one that goes out to work. He sits at home and drinks alcohol while the wife goes out to work and bring money home for the family. Now she has left. The consequences of his actions are rubbing off on the children innocently. So I'm worried that to get to a certain point in which you've reached your limit to help them. So what then do we do from there? Should I speak to the woman personally? Then again, it's not my business. Should I try and call the two of them together?
Williams, it seems like it's your business completely because
I don't.
There's no how you want to run away from it already.
I'm running away. I'm running away because I really feel I've over-involved myself just because of the sake of the children, because they are innocent of the thing and they don't even know what's going on. You just see them playing on the road. They don't even know what's the extent to which. He keeps telling them that their mother has traveled, and those are lies that they will grow up and they won't understand the real story of what has happened, because it's what the man keeps feeding them, is what they will grow up to believe. So I'm just literally worried. That's just where I am now. So I'm not going home since when I go home, I will know where they are currently. I hope she's back. I pray she's back. I will be happy. I will sleep better.
Well, for me, I feel if someone if someone is being treated badly in a relationship and decides to leave, it's not. I think it's better for a mental state, but she also has to put her children into an account, especially.
But is this whole put your children in consideration? That is what makes a lot of women these days.
Yes.
A lot of that are in
broken homes.
Terrible, exactly. So, I mean, I'm happy for her. Low key, I'm happy for her that she has the mind to leave, because a lot of women don't have the mind to leave. But if rape and all those sexual assaults is something that I feel like is a deal breaker, you can't tolerate that. Physical violence, rape, once it has come to that, you have to leave. She has decided to leave. Good for her. It's just her children will suffer, but next time she will marry better.
Edmund.
On that note, to bring an end to the Viewing Center podcast for this week, I'd like to thank our listeners once again for always supporting us by downloading the show on wherever they find it, on Twitter, on Tracing Us, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Lots of new listeners on Audio Mac recently. So I really appreciate every single person that listens to the show, and it means a lot to all of us who record the show weekly to listen to. Oris, your final words on this week's episode.
Well, I'm thankful. I'm grateful to a lot of people. Most of the people are my friends that keep sharing, that keep posting, that keep dropping their reviews weekly and telling me what to do, what not to do, how I make the show better. Basically, I'm grateful to you guys, and so thank you.
I'm following Edmund's line. I'm thankful to all those who are listening, who are criticizing, who are reposting, who are sharing, and give us positive feedback. I'm grateful also for our 2,000 plus listeners on the last episode. I'm thankful to you guys because I know you guys will do better and give me a 4,000 review or 4,000 listening on this particular episode because it has been a brilliant episode. Then you should follow me on Twitter. Grow my account.
That account is never going to grow.
I'm 600 followers since. Somebody on Twitter mocked me before they blocked my Instagram that my Twitter followers and my Instagram followers are the same thing. I felt bad.
You should ask Edmund how he grows his followers.
I don't want to ask Edmund. Edmund was posting messy. Please follow me. It's the Godfather of Harlem. Or just search Women Williams. Or search Godfather of Harlem. The picture is there. You see my picture.
Let me
follow me
to get followers. Tega Williams, don't give away. Just say 5,000 naira giveaway so time. This. You will see people will follow you. Run up.
5,000 for 100 people.
Let me tell you something, Sha.
Yeah.
Followers, the numbers are actually overrated. See, if you want to get followers on Twitter or social media, you have to be active. You have to talk. You have to relate. You have to comment on people's posts. You have to repost their own posts, and that's the only way you build your own. Anyway, meet me later after the show. I'll give you tips.
Who you? Who born you? Who you?
Onyeka, thanks for joining us on the show. It's been fun having you around.
Yeah, actually, it's been really nice. Listening is actually different from being on the show. The feeling is way better when you're talking and interacting. So thank you for letting me have this moment.
My birthday just passed. Our listeners, you guys should send me a birthday gift. Haba. And during Center Podcast, Tega and Williams, you guys should do something. You should shake my leg. Say, for being our co-host and everything. This is your package.
One plate of Owo Superstar for you. Coming up.
I will take it.
Let me take it.
My favorite soup, please.
All right, guys. Everyone, you've heard Edmund. One plate of Owo soup coming from the listeners. I will donate meat. Williams to donate starch. I don't know what you can donate. Maybe for a pound or something.
Unknown.
All right, guys. Really, really appreciate everybody who listens to the podcast. Till next week, take care of yourself, guys. Cheers.